Alright, I am live now, but just wait here.
Yeah, it's actually 14 slot. No, I don't watch the stream.
You streaming on AusNS2, Seb?
Yes.
Okay. Nice music.
Thank you.
What? It says offline for me. AusNS2.
What?
Alright guys, hello and welcome to another night of Australian NS2. I'm joined by Golden, and we're going to be watching the AusNS2 States Tournament Finals, Grand Finals in fact. So hello Golden.
Is that really?
Hello Golden.
Yeah. Hello, Seb.
Hello, sorry, I did my thing muted, but that's alright, it's all good. It's on stream. It's happening.
Oh.
I haven't done this in a
Cool.
while. Very rusty.
Welcome back.
Yes. Alright, so yeah, we're watching the grand final of the Australian States Tournament. And yeah, I mean, it's been pretty interesting so far. So far, we had 4 teams. We had Team New Zealand, Team Queensland, Team Victoria, and Team New South Wales. All Australian states except for New Zealand. But yeah, so it's been pretty interesting. Team Team Victoria and Team New Zealand got knocked out in the group stages, and we're now in the grand final for New South Wales and Queensland.
Group stages? How did you group stages with 14?
We had one group, so it's quite literally one group, but it was group stages.
So this
basically, it
is
was just kind of a round robin, and then we went into a best of 5.
cool. That's a okay way to do it. I didn't even know this tournament was going on. It's a nice surprise for me tonight.
Yeah, so, but I mean, it's just something that we're kind of, running just in the lead up to the Australian League, which is happening a little bit after the NSL League, the next season of the NSL League, but yeah, we're starting, I believe, the end of this month for the Australian League, Season 4.
That might actually be before the NSL starts. I don't know when they're gonna start.
It might have changed it around as well with different leadership changes and everything, but it looks like we're going live, so yeah, we're all ready to go. 10 seconds. Alright, and it looks
Alright.
like this will be interesting as well with the tags. You just got to look at Ascension tags being Queensland tags, I think. So Queensland starting over here in flight control, with the Marines being New South Wales starting over in data core.
Yeah, everybody's ascension is on Queensland except for Woot,
Yep.
who's building an RT reactor. But it looks like we're gonna have a fight down here in ventilation in a second. MF being really sneaky. Right around that corner, trying to bait Bonage in. That's a good pick on Bonnet. And they're gonna have a 3v2 here in ventilation. All the skulks are chipped now.
Yeah, so
But the
AOL
Marines
and
pushing into a
Carrot-
bad position.
Yeah, they were very close up to that door, so both of those Marines got taken out relatively quickly there, so they're going to bite ventilation pretty easily. And it looks like Kalmos is actually lagged out in Summit Reception there. I don't know what's going on. And Bonage all
okay
alone
now.
here in ventilation. Takes out Jimmy. I think he's going to rebuild that node without any problems. Unless, look at this Gorge. So Wax here in sub, going to heal up Visor and MF. So look, they may actually go for Bonage down here in ventilation.
Aliens did opt to go 2 early spurs, so their expansion is going to be a little bit slower, but the Gorge will help that out, because Slayer doesn't have to spend any money on drifters. And there's no tunnel, interestingly. I guess Summit's a map where you don't really need tunnels. MF and Visor are waiting for this Gorge to push into ventilation. This is going to be a really strong push.
Jimmy comes out on top in Crevice. He actually TK'd Intric there, but Woot going down there in Crevice. But Carrot and Ale moving down into Computer Lab. They're going to try and get some alien RTs down. It's interesting to know that the Marines actually haven't moved down into sub yet, but Bonage, the first person to walk down into sub, Wax trying to get out, but he doesn't know that there's 2 Marines in Comp Lab.
This is some aggressive Marine pressure.
And they did a decent job there, just not quite getting that RT down to low enough. The Gorge is what's going to save those aliens there. Bonage still down in sub. Trying to get
He
some
might be able to
damage
kill
down.
this RT if
Yeah.
he gets MF. But he can't spend too much time just shooting at MF. MF is just trying to buy time for the respawners. And we do have lurks up. Visor is a lurk, and J-Mosk is gonna lurk? J-Mosk goes lurk, right?
Yeah, I think Jimmy and Skid will be lurking tonight, but yeah, Visor gets the kill on Bonage there in sub, and Wax is doing a great job at saving those RTs, and we've got a game pause going down right now. But yeah, so Marines on 5 RTs at the moment. Pretty solid start actually for the Marines. I mean, they haven't gotten an alien node down yet, but they've gotten into both of those rooms, okay. And they've actually managed to keep a fair amount of their res. They're gonna start building Crevice in a second here as well, so.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine that they haven't killed any alien RTs, because 1-1 is just finishing, or will be finished in about 10 seconds after the game goes back live. They're on 5 RTs, about to be 6. And the armory is waiting at base. I expect the shotguns to be started as soon as that's up.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, definitely the Marines being fairly teched up pretty early in the game is going to work out for them in the long run as well. And it looks like someone's restarting their game.
Slayer
Slayer's-
dropped.
alright. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the history of these 2 teams, and of course, because each state had quite a different lineup, I think, for each of their games. They actually subbed in a lot of different players. Each team had a roster of around 11 or 12 players. So a lot of these teams are actually looking a little bit different to last week's games. But this game should be interesting because Queensland did lose to New South Wales last time 4-0. So we'll see.
That is a pretty big loss.
Yeah, so we'll see if they can't do better this time. But, I mean, as I said before, they do have a fairly different lineup now. But so do New South Wales.
Just from what I know about these players, I haven't played with Oz players in quite a while, but I would have expected Ascension, well, the Queensland team, to kind of have the advantage coming into here. But if they lost 4-0 last week.
Yeah, no, I mean it is pretty interesting because they do have the full, almost the full, Ascension team. They've all played together quite a bit. But then again, so 3 of the New South Wales players as well, Carrot, Hole, and Bonage are on a team as well together. So Yeah, I mean, both teams have quite solid lineups as well. So, I mean, so yeah, theoretically this could be a very interesting game, and who knows what happened last week with rostering? I can't even remember. So, all right, it looks like we're still waiting for Slay to get back in the game.
It looks like his game files do not match the server, which is a pain because you either keep trying to rejoin or you verify game cache, and verifying game cache can take a while if you don't have a good processor. So I may need another pause here to buy some time. I guess we could talk about Compmon 4. Oh, he's in.
He's
Okay.
in? Oh, there we go. He is in. But yeah, Compmod, we are using Compmod 4 for this tournament. And I believe we will be for the season as well, the league.
The biggest change is the assist health, I would say. We can talk about that later. It's going live here.
Yeah. Alright, so Wax gonna heal up those that harvester there in sub. And they haven't
I'm out with
Slayer
a
hasn't
really good
gotten-
ambush on Carry, but Carry comes out on top. And dies to it. It's frustrating when you get a good kill like that and then the lurk just comes in and kills you.
And Visor coming in. Oh, and we've got another pause. Slayer has dropped again. So, yeah, this is great. Well, let's talk about Sis then. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's the minimum distance, right? Oh, it's a distance to the hive, correct? That the health
Yeah.
starts, health of the Sis starts dropping.
Right.
So,
The max health on cysts is 450 if fully matured, and that's before the drop off range. And then at the end of the drop off range, the lowest the cysts mature health can be is 200. So in between, I believe the initial drop off point is 25 meters from the hive, which is like, I don't know, probably if you start in flight control, it's probably in comp lab, or like just after comp lab would be where the health starts dropping. So those cysts in sub probably have 225 max health or something like that.
right.
I don't know, this is a
so-
pretty recent change. I haven't gotten a chance to play with it very much.
Yeah, so you would start to see health drops kind of around comp lab, right? Like from the hive. Yeah, so I mean it kind of actually almost promotes the center tech point hive almost for aliens, if they can get it.
It would be very beneficial to have that, yeah. Just for assist health. But assists are still very effective even with just 200 health.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, because nothing other than and also the minimum placement distance as well, right? So you can like you can't triple assist as effectively.
Correct. But if you auto assist at the end of a chain, I think you can still get the double assist inside the range. So there's a lot of like little minutia that the commander can do.
Yeah. So
Which I think is okay.
Yeah, definitely. Root and Kalmos there in Summit Reception getting absolutely wrecked by those lurks. Bonage here in cross. These Marines trying to get some more pressure down onto sub as well. Wax doing a good job at trying to spit Carrot. Intric and MF coming in and taking down Carrot in sub. That was actually a pretty good alien rotation there. They all managed to kind of pack up on Carrot there. But they dropped the hive.
And Ale knows about it.
That
You might
is
get the
a-
Corch pick here.
Yeah, that is a huge hive drop at 4.5 minutes. Ale knows about it, and he's in the hive. Visor trying to take him out. Ale getting some really good damage there on Visor. Visor really low HP, 8%. But all this time, Marines have been on 6 RTs. Jimmy trying to bite down Crevice. He's gonna head. Oh man, and Carrot saves that node in Reactor. Intric getting it down to about 10%.
We're going to see a lot of pressure on the sub hive before it goes up. On 6 RTs, you can afford to do the pressure while still teching. Weapons 2 and phase gates are going. And they don't really need more than 3 Marines in here.
Aliens just haven't rotated yet. We've got the Lurk, Jimmy in here, Wax is still in there, low HP, but the Alien's just coming in now, and a lot of the damage has already been done on that Hive. Bonus taking out Intric, and these 2 Lurks can, you know, they can't really do much against this shotgun that's here right in the doorway.
One goes down. Calmo's continuing to work on the Hive, while Bonage and Root push out the aliens. AO coming in for the pinch. They don't know about him. Borgs goes down. Lurk is stuck in the box.
And he
And
goes
AO
down
gets
as
the
well.
pick.
So that was, you know, a huge engagement there for the Marines, you know, taking down the Hive and 2 Lurks. Look at that, we're not at fades for another good, probably another 2 minutes or so.
That's if they save both of these RTs. And Complab's certainly going to die. And Sub is very likely going to die. And we just saw the first Marine. Oh, I guess they did kill a couple of res nodes at some point. Oh yeah, they killed Ben and Crevice at some point. But really, this is the first RT damage, that res pressure that the aliens have accomplished.
Yeah, so Marines just going down to 3 nodes now, with 2 more on the way. They're building up Comp Lab and what other nodes they dropped? They dropped Reactor. And this phase gate here in Comp is going to be extremely difficult for the aliens to deal with, I reckon, without fades or anything like that. They don't have any high life forms at the moment, just skulks. But it looks like they are taking advantage of the fact that they've got 5 skulks at the moment by trying to get all that race down. It just might have been a little bit too late.
Yeah, I think they really needed to do a faster transition from realizing that the Hive was lost and maybe keeping the Lurks there and the Gorge there while everybody else got on res. But hopefully you wouldn't lose the Lurks in that situation, which they of course did. Woot and AO doing some aggressive pressure here on the Hive. Going after one of the only RTs they know they are built.
So all they've done really is desisted that node, moved into flight control. They're kind of just pressuring that, you know, keeping those spawners. And look at that, Ale and Root doing some massive damage to these skulks. The 3 spawners there going in one by one and getting taken out, but Jimmy and Wax doing a great job in Comp Lab, taking out that, you know, phase gate while they went and pressured that RT.
RT and their Hive almost at 2%. I wonder if Bonage knows about it.
Ooh.
All he has to do is beat the corner and fire once. But he's just going to content himself with making sure Crevice dies. So we will get to fades.
Yeah. I wonder who's fading as well. It looks like MF and Intric will be fading for Queensland. Kalmar saving the Comp Lab extractor from, I believe it was Intric. Jimmy trying to ambush Ale, he gets him on extremely low health. And the face like
Kalmar's just gonna
going back
be able to get that kid back up.
It's funny to see that flight control harvester hasn't died yet, but Bonage is just trying to lane block there in Summit Reception. Intric takes out Bonage there. Bonage actually must be spewing about that one.
I expect this RT to die right now. Or they're not going to look at it. They're going for the Fade Eggs.
Oh, but will they get
know about
Intric? Oh, and Intric just spawns in time.
He's low. 2 shotguns in
He
the
might
Hive.
die here, and he gets in the Hive
He's in the
just in
Hive.
time.
And he's in trouble.
But 5 dead on the alien side. Intric extremely low. If he gets out, he is dead. And they have no eggs either. Trying to spawn eggs.
They only have one
RT.
more egg spawn after this.
This could
Trick's
be
out.
it.
And then he goes down. Couldn't quite get in the Hive in time.
And there is the GG. overall, actually, a pretty dominating win. I mean, the early game was pretty close, but I guess that the alien team didn't have enough pressure on Marine RTs that allowed the Marines to kind of do as they wanted. You know, they kind of got that hive down without any real consequence for doing so. Looks like we're going to be moving into round 2 here. New South Wales taking the first round.
Yeah, after that vent RT died, there was very little res pressure by Queensland, and the Marines just blossomed up to the 5 RTs and got their 2-1 and walked in. They had weapons too, pretty much done when that hive was dropped, or by the time they pushed in, they definitely had it, which makes the lurks a little scary to fight a LMG in that tight corridor against the weapons too.
Definitely. But yeah, some pretty clever Marine plays as well. Like that lurk, that whole lurk engagement in sub as well. AL coming in for the pinch is some pretty clever plays there. The aliens just weren't expecting. But we will see how the Marines do now on this round. But I believe the maps we're playing. So I believe we're starting out with Summit, going to Tram, and then if we get into a tiebreaker match, we're going to be playing it on Jambi.
That is indeed my understanding.
Yeah, so pretty stock standard map selection, but it looks like we're going live now. So.
Got New South Wales over in flight control on aliens. Marines, Queensland. Starting with a 2-2 split, 2 heading to Crossroads. MF and Intric getting our first fight here. Almost at 1 HP. Carrot taking some chip. We're gonna see all the smokes go to base against Wax. Wax is taking some good positions and getting some good damage. Slayer's out of the chair, gets 1 frag. The other 2 are half health.
Yeah, it does get some good damage on those folks.
Yeah, so they are able to recover. The IP went down to 50%, but other than that, they came out relatively unscathed. They haven't built their RTs yet, though.
It's rather unfortunate that they didn't get the at least 1 res node up before having to come back to base.
And who was it? MF and Intric get cleaned up in Comp Lab by that alien pack, and that is kind of an unfortunate consequence of killing everyone in base. That you have the wave spawn of all those 5 aliens respawning, ready to take you out for the pressure. Sometimes in that situation, it's probably not worth it going for that pressure. But
J-Moss creeping through the vent, picks off opponent. And the mines up base doing work. Carrot dying to 1. Hale's gonna go work on that IP.
yeah, so it looks like Queensland have gone mines first here, and that should deter the aliens as the Skulls going for any more base pressure, or at least trying to get some damage on those folks if they do come into base. And AL trying to dodge those marine mines there while avoiding Slayer's bullets. Looks like MF moving into Summit reception, trying to get some pressure down on those alien RTs.
Something to note is that they did go mines first, as you said, but only 1 pack of mines has been purchased. And if you don't buy more than 1 pack, then you might have been better off going for upgrades first.
I think it's a pretty big difference here about, you know, these two Marines play styles, I guess. Right now, what we're seeing kind of is Queensland really trying to get, you know, pressure into, you know, almost kind of too quickly, right? We didn't see any Marine pressure on the Alien RTs from Team New South Wales, you know, for a good 4 minutes or so, right? They really played it very slow, tried to get their RTs up, and got established onto about 6 RTs before they actually made any dent in the alien economy.
It is exactly the difference. I don't know if I would say that it's misguided by Queensland to try to do this pressure. They just haven't been quite as successful as they would hope.
Yeah, their engagements are turning out to be either really unlucky or just they're getting, you know, ambushed in, you know, in certain places by 4 or 5 aliens. So these aliens are really predicting where these guys are going to be very well, or, you know, they're just rotating extremely well as well. Wax rebuilding ventilation. Hey, we got Intric here in Crevice. He's going to try and get that node down. It's on 85% at the moment. Bonage is ready to take him out. It looks like the alien pack is transitioning to take him out, and they will take him out pretty easily.
With very little damage taken, Nail's going to be able to go straight onto Red's biting. Although there's not a node in Extreme. We do have the lurks up and shell upgrades. That's another notable difference between the teams. Queensland elected for Celerity, or Spurs rather, which really the only viable upgrade is Celerity. New South Wales electing for the shell upgrades, which lets you get Carapace, which is what the lurks have. Well, the lurks haven't taken their upgrades, even though they could have already. Or Regen, which is the other upgrade for the shell house.
And look at this, we got Bonage and Carrot going base. They're going to spike down these mines, so instantly we have that pack of mines kind of useless a little bit when those lurks come out, but they're going to try and get that IP down. It's going down extremely quickly, 10%. Slayer is out of the chair.
Command station under attack.
And Jimmy getting some good damage down there on Bonage. Bonage coming back in. He's going to try and take out Jimmy though. And they do, so they have no IP, only 2 Marines left on the map. They're coming back now. Visor and Intric in Pipe Junction, no comm. And Calmus going to work on the RT. We've got 4 aliens here in Dotacor.
No comm means no med support.
And Intric has no ammo left, so this is GG here for the Marines. And there we go, the aliens take it with a fantastically timed base push there.
Command station taking damage.
I'm not even sure if that IP was welded or not.
It was indeed.
It was? Alright, cool. But so those lurks did take it down really quickly though.
That's the danger of only having that one pack purchase. You basically, one of the mines blew up and killed one skulk, and the other mine just got killed with spikes. Didn't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean it did delay their armor or, you know, weapons upgrades there as well. Maybe could have helped in some of those engagements, but, you know, you can't.
Well, you can do other things with the mines too. You don't have to put them all in your base. The skulks that were hiding in the reactor vent, for example, you could put mines in there, and that slows that down a whole lot. And now we go to Tram. How do you feel about Tram, Seb?
I like Tram. I reckon Tram's probably my favorite map out of them all. But yeah, I know some people that don't share the same opinion.
I think I just play it too much. I think that's my problem with it.
Fair enough, fair enough. I think it is probably one of the most played maps alongside with Summit. So it is fair enough that it does get played quite a bit.
You know, Summit's actually a map I haven't really played for a while. I usually end up playing Tram, Zombie, and that seems like it's it. Oh, I play Veil a lot. Veil gets played a lot.
That's actually really interesting difference. I think Veil is probably one of the least played maps in the Oz community. I genuinely think that. I don't know why that is, but I think like I see a lot of American teams and European teams playing Veil, but very rarely does it get played here.
Veil can be a difficult map for Marines. So much easier for aliens, but it can also go the other way. It could be very easy for Marines if they get into Nano early on. But we're not talking about Veil, are we? We're not playing Veil, are we?
No.
So let's talk about Tram.
Well, I mean, not much to say about Tram that you know, everyone already knows. I mean, probably such an awesome map for lane blocking and stuff as a Marine. Like, it can penalize you a lot if you don't do the correct lane blocking, but I find it very rewarding if you do. But yeah, so it looks like we are going live here. So round 3. Of the grand final of the Australian States tournament here. So it looks like Team Queensland starting in server room. What do you think about the server room start there for aliens?
I think it can go either way. I much prefer the warehouse spawn as aliens.
Yeah, I'd agree with that actually as well. I think it's a little bit more difficult getting out into warehouse from server room than it is getting from warehouse to server room. So
It's very easy to get stuck in server. Carrot and Root pushing into an ambush here.
it looks like Aeol and Kalmos here moving up slowly, very slowly into hub. Visor trying to get the ambush there, but Jimmy Mosquito kind of not on the same page there. Looks like Jimmy and Wax are going to try and take out Kalmos, and they do.
Wax did a great thing in there that I want to point out, where he went in, got the one frag, and then he hit. So he didn't just like dive on the other Marine and die, he waited for the other Skulk to come in.
Yeah, pretty great engagement there on Queensland. They're going to go for Bonage here. Intric going straight into Bonage there. The other two Skulks trailing close behind. And it looks like Queensland are doing an okay job. I mean, we've got them assisting out into a warehouse here, and I find that Tram is it's a pretty interesting map because, you know, as we all know, there's no center tech point, and as MF takes down Woot there in hub, there's no center tech point. So when you have the new sys changes here, sys can get to their minimum sys health pretty quickly there, especially when you're assisting to warehouse and then to ore from server room. So
These assists in warehouse, even the one in North Tunnels is probably at the minimum max health. So it's probably 200 health assist there. So aliens are going to have to be really aggressive about protecting their expansion.
yeah, definitely. Aeol and Bonage here in ore processing. Aliens trying to group up and take out these Marines, but it looks like Marines are just kind of pre-firing the corners. Bonage and Aeol kind of actually split, so Jimmy actually gets the ambush there on Bonage, but Jimmy is low HP. And Aeol trying to take him out.
Wax coming in from behind. AO did not reload. And he's gonna get the reload off while they're sitting here. Calmo's coming around for the flank on Jimmy. Should be an easy pick. Well, too hesitant by the aliens there. And I think this is where we're going to see the game kind of turn. So the aliens were kind of like packing around, getting stuff done. And with those a few successful engagements, the Marines are going to start blossoming on res and kind of taking over the map. Root and Carrot doing a great job route blocking. And we have the lurks up with Jimmy and Visor.
Man, Intric with a nice pick on Carrot. Carrot trying to get the flank on these alien packs, but preventing that is actually a really, really great move there from the alien. And they actually get through, taking a lot of damage, but they get through without taking any casualties there, but the Marines do get that RT there in warehouse.
Jimmy almost got the pinch on Jim, or Root almost got the pinch on Jimmy. Jimmy's stuck low in warehouse. He's hiding in the vent. Root knows he's in here somewhere, and he's gonna go looking.
everywhere Jimmy goes, there is a Marine waiting for him, so he's... You know, without that regen, he's going to have to try and make his path back to the hive. Or these aliens aren't really making an effort to kind of clear a path for him either. They're kind of letting Carrot and Woot just sit here in North Tunnels and Warehouse. And Jimmy's kind of just stuck here using natural regen here in Ore. And I'm not sure if Kalmos knows he's there or not.
Visor did get very low trying to break Jimmy out. Almost dying to Woot and North Tunnel. MF doing his best on res. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Now Jimmy is free. We're going to see this pack come around and clear the whole north side.
I think this is a good move from the aliens. They really needed to clear that top side. I mean, because pretty much the Marines had, you know, they had a couple of guys up there in Warehouse or North Tunnels, above hub pretty much for a good chunk of time there, about 2 minutes. Really doing some damage. And Jimmy goes down to Ale's pistol. Fantastic pistol control there from Ale, taking down Jimmy in one clip. Now shotguns A1, weapons 1 up for the Marines. And they've got that OBS up as well, so they're doing alright with tech right now. They've got the 5 RTs up.
They just need to keep them up for about a minute to be able to get all their tech going. Probably gonna see weapons 2 get started here in a second. Woot and Carrot pushing into mezzanine with the 2 shotguns. Visor with the pinch as a lurk, but he can't go in there alone. And they're just gonna leave them and sack that node. Try to get some res down.
And the aliens just trying to deal with Kalmos here in repair room. Kalmos taking some spikes, trying to get some chip damage there on Wax as well, but it looks like they're gonna go straight past him. But Bonage is here in logistics to stop that.
They're looking to go base here, but the OBS is Pill. It's a very simple beacon. And they might not even have to.
Nice pick there from Hole as well before the beacon goes off.
Jimmy and Visor should be able to finish this extractor in elevator. AO coming up to try to save it. MF setting up for the ambush on Woot, but Woot's going to elect to go north tunnels instead. Or he's going to try to hold up with a shotgun.
I'm not quite sure. These aliens look kind of decisive. They almost look like they want to go. They wanted to go in on Woot there, but it looks like they're going base now again. Intra getting taken out by Carrot. Carrot with the 3K. Beautiful play there from Carrot. And it looks like everything these aliens want to do really is kind of getting blocked at every turn. Visor getting pistol whipped right down the corner there.
And Woot was there with the pinch anyway, he's crouched around the corner.
Yeah, so it looks like they have lost both of their lurks again. Jimmy and Visor going down. But it was a lot later into the game. We do have fades coming up in 1P res.
Somebody did say in chat, screen change please, to do
Yeah, it's already done. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And it looks like we can try and get the phase gate up here in mezzanine. Jimmy trying to ambush there, gets Ale. Beautiful ambush there from Jimmy, but Woot with the shotgun gonna take out both those Skulk Slayer and Jimmy. Looks like they will get that phase gate up, no problems. That is a pretty devastating phase gate there if they get that and then maybe the warehouse gate, which looks like Kalmos might do once they get the res.
Power in hub is prime, they might just do a mezzanine hub gate. Jimmy in the vent, but Carrot knows about him. And the fades are MF and Intric. With the Skulk dying in mezzanine, the fades can't really do much against the gate, so they're just gonna go heal and probably come clear platform. Oh, they're gonna go after this gate. They really want it down. And it looks like they might take it.
They don't get the gate. Ale coming in to get those guys off of the gate from the mezzanine. Just enough time so that the Marines can phase back through and save that gate, which is a pretty nice play there from the Marines. Unfortunate for the aliens though. And mezzanine going down as well. The aliens down onto 1 RT.
And this might be game over.
It might be the
Marines,
grand finals over as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Marines are looking for a pick a fade here. That's all they need.
Best of 5. If Team New South Wales wins this game right now, they win the grand final for the states tournament.
Turret's going up to protect that gate. Just a little bit of insurance in case a high push goes poorly.
MF taking
AO.
huge meat. AOL with the huge meats right now against Intric and MF, fending off 2 fades. And if these fades just engaged at the same time, maybe they'd have a better chance at taking out one of these Marines. But looks like 4 Marines moving into server room right now. And they're trying to get the picks.
Armor 2 is so strong here against this polarity fade.
And
MF does go
down.
down. I think he got stuck by the stairs there.
And Intric so low, and he gets into the hive just in time.
Mike's trying to work on some RTs, but not really getting a whole lot done, and I dare say it's a little bit too late.
But still, these aliens clearing these Marines, but it looks like they've beaconed to go phase through. Cat packs are being started as well. But
Weapons 2 is done in about 30 seconds.
yeah, we won't see those cat packs either for another 30 seconds or so. As well, but I mean, maybe these Marines will head down the hive. And Intrigue. Oh, he gets snapped at the back of the hive there as well. And this looks like it could be it. And there goes the GG.
So that is it. New South Wales wins.
Well, there we go. So, New South Wales is the best state in Australia for NS2, apparently. Yeah. Alright. Thank you guys for joining us for that stream. It is, yeah, so Queensland have lost to New South Wales 3-0. And yeah, that's pretty much it for us tonight. We do have the AusNS2 season 4 of the league as well, coming in the end of this month. I believe we're starting on the 23rd. 23rd of March is the first week start. It's a Monday, I believe. And we have 8 teams signed up so far for the league. Always looking for more teams as well, so if you know anyone that wants to join up on the league, point them over towards AusNS2.org and they can sign up. Alright guys, so that's it. Thank you Golden for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
That's alright. And yeah, that'll be it for tonight, guys. Thanks.